Hey guys, and welcome. This is Heather here from Mercantile, and you are joining us for day 3 of our DIY advent calendar for felt projects that you can make for your kiddos or your tree for this Christmas. So today we are going to be making a peppermint candy made of felt. So I'll get into that in a second, but right now, if you wouldn't mind going down below and clicking the subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos, because there will be a lot of them this month. And if you like this video, click like, and I'd love to have you leave a comment about what you think, anything you'd like to see, or any questions, comments you might have. So let's get started, and I will show you what materials you will be needing. So for materials, you will be needing some wool roving. So today's video is a little bit different. We are going to be trying our hand at needle felting. If that's not something that you want to give a try, then just check out our other tutorial videos where we use the poly sheets that are much easier to clean than this stuff. So not the best for kids' toys, but they do look great for decorations. Also, these candies will be on the smaller side, so you definitely want to be supervising any little kids that are going to be playing with these because they are mouth-sized. All right, so the wool roving you can get at any store that's close to you that sells craft supplies. It is made of 100% wool, and it's nicely carded. You can even buy this stuff on Wish if you don't mind waiting a bit of time. It is a little bit different quality, and you might find slight imperfections in there, but really the cost difference is incredible, so definitely give that a try. So aside from our wool roving, I do use the professional tools here. So I've just got a foam block which I use to felt on top of. If you have anything like this around your house, it would be useful. Otherwise, you can use just something that's got a little give to it, like maybe even a sponge would work. And I am using a fine point needle for felting specifically, but if you don't have one of these, the first project I made was with a toothpick, so I'm sure you can make that work as well. So we're also going to need some red embroidery floss. I don't separate the threads for this project. These are definitely important. You'll want to have 2 thimbles. I like the little rubbery guys, but yeah, you definitely stab yourself quite a bit in this type of project, so it's a good idea to have these on hand, literally. And last but not least, our trusty little needle. So let's get started. Alrighty, so what I like to do first, you're going to need to break off a bit of your roving. I just like to try and tear it away easily. This is probably going to be a good amount for the project that we're doing now. So put the bulk of it aside. I also like to take the embroidery floss that I'll be using, and you just wrap the end around your fingers a couple times. I really do want quite a big knot for this, so, and then just give her a pull. So we've got a nice big knot. Then with our roving, we'll just pull it out a little bit, stretch it out, and we're going to tie it in a knot. This is a good way to start any sort of ball shape for needle felting. So what I do, stretch it out so it looks kind of like a little circle there. We're going to take this big knot, just place it right in the center. I just do this to hide my knot. I just find it makes a nicer finished piece. All right, definitely put these guys on. They are needed because stabbing is definitely a hazard of the job. So we just fold over that side, fold over this side, and you can start felting. So the point of this little needle is it's got tiny little barbs on it which catch the wool as you're felting. So first I just like to get the top so it makes it nice and flat. When you're needle felting, you also want to remember to keep on flipping your piece over. I'll show you why. Because I'm pushing down into the block, like, you do get some sticking into it. So if you stay on one side for too long, your piece might become a permanent fixture of your block. And then you have little bits of foam all in the piece that you're working on if you try and rip that out. So just a tip, try and stay away. So while you're felting, I like to hold it at the top here. I find it gives me a little bit more control. You just want to keep turning your piece, try to maintain that shape that we're going for, which is kind of the peppermint candy shape. So I like to do a little bit of work on the edges at this point, just to kind of maintain the circle that I'm going for. You can flip it over, do the other side. I highly recommend protecting your fingers, guys. It does not feel good when you stab yourself. I've done it many times, and even now sometimes I forget to put these on, and your fingers will definitely thank you when you do. I think anyone who does needle felting can tell you that it's like a lot of fun, but it can be dangerous if you don't protect yourself. So now that we've got the kind of shape that we like, I think it's a little bit too thick for me. So you can shape it out yourself a little bit at this point. Give it a little squish. So now that we've got the shape we want going, you just want to, any pieces that look like they're really sticking out, that are really loose, we can shove those in. So to give it more of a shape at this point, I like holding it on its end, and I just go around the edges. If you use your fingers as sort of a guide, then you can rest the needle along the thimble, which will kind of just provide a guide to make it the width you like. You can give it a little squish as you're doing this, but it just helps with the binding. And I wouldn't recommend using polyfill. I know it's white and it I don't know, you use it for stuffing, why not try creating something with it? But I have done it before. The only thing I find it really works for is if you're doing like a really large needle felted piece and you just need something for the core. But I don't know, it's got too much bounce to it, so I don't really like using it if I don't have to. But it does work for clouds. I like using it for clouds. So that is something, a little tip, in case you want to make felt cloud next, if needle felting is now your favorite hobby. Alrighty, so I've definitely got the shape I am looking for. So normally I would probably spend a lot more time just getting it to the shape I like, but I'm really liking that. What we can do is just cut off any little extra fuzzies. Cut around the edge. Try not to cut your string. Great. So now that we've got this, we want to take our needle. You know what? Let me put this dangerous guy away before I stab myself. Done that before too. I'm going to take my sewing needle and thread this guy, because now we're going to make the candy portion. So I go back through the hole I was in just so I can start in a spot that I like. I pick a spot maybe, I'd say about a centimeter away from the edge. Then I go over to the other side, go about a centimeter from the edge, put it in, but I'm going to come out on the opposite side. This makes it easier for your guide when you're doing this circle. On the opposite side, about a centimeter in. So when we pull it through, we've got the straight line on this side, and then we've got it matched up with this straight line. So we're just going to keep doing the same thing, put it about 1 centimeter in, but we're going to come up in this side. Oops, I'm over. And you can always fix it before you get too far in to the placing. So we pull this through. Oops. Make sure your end gets pulled through as well. Okay. Then we want to keep doing the same thing all the way around. Until we have our 4, and then we're going to go in between the other 2, so 8 in total. I'm going to come up in there and in there. Same thing all the way around. Make sure you fill in all the spaces. You'll have 8 lines when you're done. I hope you can see this. Yeah, like I said, guys, if you don't have an actual felting needle, then yeah, my first project was just done with a toothpick. It's really easy hobby to just test if you want to just kind of learn what it's about before investing the money. Like, I think to start I only really invested like $50, but I mean, before I even began, I just grabbed a bit of spare yarn that I had, and what you can do is like take a cat brush to it to just kind of like break apart the fibers, and then I used a toothpick to just kind of make up something little. So you really don't need, it's not an expensive hobby to start. All right, so we've got our 8. So what you want to do now, I bring the needle underneath here, the line that I just made. We're going to make a loop, so get our loop there, make sure the end is through. Again, with embroidery floss, I don't really want to make too many passes around this loop because it's already quite thick, so I'm just going to do 2. Pull it through, make sure the end is through. There we go, and you want to make that as tight as you can. Cut off the end. And if it's not really shaped exactly the way you want, you can always just go in and give it a little few finishing touches. You can even, you know what, I'll use my needle for this. You can even move some strings over if they're not exactly where you want them. And there we go. Got ourselves a felt candy. So here are some other ones I made. I actually added ties to them so I could hang them on the tree. So if you like this video, guys, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Remember to click the bell for alerts so you can stay up to date on all these DIY videos I'll be posting in the month of December. And please leave a comment below if you like this video, if you've got a project that you've created from one of these videos that you'd like to share. Please, we'd love to see it. You can join us on our Facebook group. And as always, it has been a pleasure, and we will see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.